we're going to wrap up. We're going to talk some NBA playoffs because we're finally here. We should say, by the way, Joel Embiid wins the scoring title. First center to do it since 2000, which is remarkable. Like the fact that I was looking at it. Kirk Goldsberry put something up. It was since so there was 94 was David Robinson, 95 was Shaq, 2000 was Shaq. That's the list of centers that have won the scoring title in like the last 40 years. Mm-hmm. That's how good of a season Joel Embiid has had. There's been some heated debate about Jokic, Giannis for MVP. MVP like talk gets very boring. I feel like
I'm just gonna vote for Embiid with my vote.
Yeah,
my vote goes to Embiid.
I'm gonna go with Devin Booker,
and I'm gonna put it for Embiid, and say that if the Sixers don't win the title this year, it's a disappointment.
Yes,
all for naught.
Well, it's James Harden's fault.
So yeah, you could. Yes, there is the perfect scapegoat besides Doc Rivers. So Hank, I know that you've been getting into it already with a certain element of Sixers Twitter, as you like to do. Any death threats? Any personal messages?
No, I mean, there was a lot of people. I had a tweet, it was during the Celtics win streak when they were still like 4 or 5 games back in the division where I was like, feed me Philly. I got a lot of people, even our own Adam Ferrone, that was like, be careful what you wish for, blah, 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 blah. And then in the past month or so, the Celtics obviously won the division today. They got the number 2 seed. They didn't tank. They didn't quit. They didn't rest their starters. They played it out. And then there's a lot of Philly fans that in the last month, like I've seen them, I follow them all, I see what they're doing, I'm watching the games, and they're all like, this team sucks, Harden sucks. Like they've fallen off James Harden. They don't, that high that they were riding when they got James Harden, where they were all like, this is it, we've got the missing piece, championship or bust. They're already off that high, and they're just worried about beating the Raptors.
I think I might have been right about that trade when it happened, when I said I think both teams might lose this trade.
Well, Simmons might. There was a report today that he might come back for the playoffs.
Yeah,
the world needs.
But that's
it's going
to be so weird having Simmons come back for the first time in the playoffs. Like surely this player won't throw off all the chemistry that we have.
Right, but he also it's not like he is gonna you're not saying if Ben Simmons comes back for the playoffs, he might have trouble like shooting because he hasn't shot in a while.
Right. If he doesn't shoot, that's probably good.
His best skill set can probably show up and play. He could probably show up and play defense. I was thinking about it. Joel Embiid, like incredible season, all those stats I just said. The fact that he's the first center in 20 years. He's also the first center since Moses Malone in 1982 to average more than 30 points a game. It's crazy. Even if you want to say like, the 90s was slower pace and not as many points. Who cares? Look at the 80s and 70s when they scored nonstop. Mm-hmm. Joel Embiid, though, is setting himself up perfectly to be the most sympathetic figure in like all of sports. When you think about Ben Simmons kind of ruined his chances, and now James Harden, who you want to talk about a pile-on. Everyone loves to pile on James Harden. It's one of the funnest things to do every spring. It's a tradition unlike any other. We go from the Masters to joking about James Harden being hungover in a playoff game. Like, James Harden will fuck this up for Embiid, and everyone's going to be like, Embiid is so good, why, like, he deserves a ring. Mm-hmm. I've already seen that he deserves a ring.
Well, I don't know. It's going to be like trying to figure out who to blame between Harden and Doc Rivers, because people love to pile on Doc Rivers, too.
Yeah, well, he does that to himself. He already bashed James Harden, which was awesome. Did you see that the other day? He was like, some reporter asked about the backups, and he's like, well, James didn't do anything. Like, he just said it. He said it after a game. It's like, James Harden stinks. But we are set with the playoffs. The Bucks basically.
The play-in game, too, is also, like, I think we should probably just tell people what the play-in game is, because up until today when I was going through scenarios, I kind of forgot about how serious the play-in tournament. It's the play-in tournament.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's not just a play-in game.
It's a lot. So Tuesday night is Cavs Nets.
Well, Monday night too.
No, not Monday night.
Western Conference.
Nope, it's Wednesday.
I thought we said it was Monday, Tuesday.
I know. I just saw it. It's Wednesday.
What the fuck?
I know.
Wait,
I know.
It was listed on my phone as being Monday night.
It's Wednesday. I just saw the thing behind you. I wouldn't have known it.
So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. So Tuesday's the Cavs and Nets. It's not by conference. Tuesday is Cavs Nets. Tuesday night later at 9:30 is Clippers T-Wolves. Wednesday is Hornets, Hawks, Spurs, Pelicans.
They did change it.
And then I assume Thursday they just play everything? I don't know. Friday?
No, it's a doubleheader Friday.
Friday. Okay, so there you go. And then the playoffs start on Saturday.
And the winner of Nets Cavs is the 7 seed. So even though technically, the Cavs are the 8, the Nets are the 7. If the Cavs beat the Nets, they're the 7, and then the Nets have to play the winner of the Hornets Hawks just to make the 8.
And I told you,
I think the Cavs can beat the Nets. I'm just going to say it now.
Hank has 2 things going on. Cavs have been his team all year because he bet on them, and 2, he doesn't want the Celtics to play the Nets in the first round.
Cavs fight.
It was funny because I came in and Hank was sitting in darkness, full darkness, by himself in the office.
He was in the lab.
He was in the lab, like breaking down playoff scenarios, and it was funny because we both came at it from different angles. He's coming at it from a team, the Celtics, that could possibly win the title, and I have been crunching the playoff scenarios to figure out like what's the least amount of embarrassment the Bulls can take. And we now have actually gotten the most amount of embarrassment with the Bucks, because that's going to be an absolute shit show. The Bucks will probably sweep. I was weighing all weekend. I was like, would I rather get swept by the Bucks and have Packers fans up my ass, which I'm used to, or would I like to play the Celtics, maybe win one game,
Coach K's revenge,
but know that Coach K's revenge, and also Dave tweets me out of the clouds, out of nowhere for like 2 weeks, or have the Sixers and have like Smitty laughing in my face. No good scenarios for me.
I'd have your back with that though.
Yeah, but it was the Bucks. Like, at least all I can say about the Bucks are going to sweep the Bulls, and at least I know how to deal with Packers fans like just dunking on me my entire life. I know how to deal with
the worst case scenario for you would be if you played against the Celtics, because you would get Hank. And Hank wouldn't like talk a lot of overt shit,
he would just
but he would sit there smiling, with that little smirk on his face. And then you know what happened? You would get bud.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Oh no, I was just trying to watch the game," and like, "I'm sorry, my team can't win." And Big Cat's over there like, "Blah."
But I'm also like, I'm a dead man walking. I know I've watched many Bulls games this year, and they are not a good team right now. Like, if you go from January on, they're a bad team. So the Bucks are going to kill them. I just want it to be over as fast as possible. I'm hoping DeMar DeRozan scores 61 game and we can get like one nice moment, maybe in Chicago. Hank, how are you feeling though? Like, I think karma's on your side. For the Celtics to not rest starters and the Bucks to basically say we'd rather play the Bulls, which I understand. Karma's on your side. To like, the teams that don't tank have karma.
I think the Celtics have been one of the best teams the second half of the year. I think they were like 23-24, and they finished something crazy like 23-7 or something. That's probably not exactly right, but they've been very, very hot. Obviously, without Robert Williams in the first round, it's tough going against the Nets, not at full strength. I still think we can win. I would much rather play, though, the Cavs. I'm just gonna be honest. I'd rather play the Cavs, even though the Cavs are scrappy. They are a better team. They're a better matchup for us. I still think we can beat the Nets, and then if we beat the Nets, we have a better, path to the finals.
I think.
I don't know. It's gonna be. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. The Nets and the Bucks are legitimate matchups that I could see going either way. I'll say that.
What I'm looking forward to is the play-in game out west, Clippers T-Wolves.
Yeah.
Because according to Paul George, this is not a Paul George versus Pat Beverly match. Oh, it's going to be a Paul George versus Pat Beverly match. Pat Beverly, by the way, is not on board with you saying that it's not about Paul George versus Pat Bev.
This is a playing game, so is there playing game P? Because it's not playoff.
It's play-in P.
Yeah, it's not. This is not the playoff.
Shout out R. Kelly.
Yeah, you're not. It's not the playoffs yet. You're not officially in the playoffs until you actually play a series.
That would actually be the funniest thing to happen to Paul. We've seen it all happen to Paul George, and we've loved laughing when it does. But for him to lose in a play-in game, that would be the ultimate.
Yes. I am, and we're gonna have Russillo on later this week to break it all down. But I do think that it's just gonna be the Suns and Bucks again. And I know that Hank, you poo-pooed that, but I just think Giannis he's so fucking good. And I know this is based off like facts that everyone knows, but sometimes it's that easy. Sometimes we spend all year watching these NBA teams trying to talk ourselves into something new and different, and it's like, oh yeah, Giannis is just a fucking monster.
I think I'm doing what I've learned over and over again watching sports that you should not do, which is to be like the Nets. Look at all the talent they've got.
Right.
The Nets are a dream team. I'm kind of talking myself into that. Like they're too good to lose before the finals.
Yeah, so I'm going Suns and Bucks rematch. I think it's plus 600 if you want to parlay them or like set that up for them to meet in the finals. That's my pick. I don't know. Maybe Rosillo will tell me I'm the dumbest person ever and that the Nets. We got to get Kirk Goldsberry back on. Shit.
Yeah, to do his Nets.
He
redemption,
literally ruined the Nets.
We're going to go Celtics Warriors.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's spicy.
I like that.
Something new.
You know what? I'm going to double dip. I'm going to go Nets, Warriors.
Oh.
These two teams,
KD.
best
Yes.
on paper.
What do you mean double dip?
Meaning like the Warriors are kind of, I'm treating them the same way I'm treating the Nets, which is they're too good. They've got so much talent. They're going to figure it out.
You're betting on names.
You know what? I'm doing a guy off.
Yeah, you're
An
doing
internal
hey,
guy off.
I know a bunch of names on these teams.
Yep.
That must be the best team.
Also, don't be shocked if the Nuggets. Don't be shocked. That's me saying.
I
That's
would be
me
shocked.
tossing a name
Yes,
out there.
I would be shocked.
And just saying, don't be shocked, so I don't actually have to put
They
any
have
weight
like
behind
crazy,
it.
they have crazy injuries.
Don't
yeah,
be
if
shocked,
anyone,
don't be shocked.
Yeah, you basically did you did a free roll for a take where it's like, I didn't say that. I just said don't be shocked.
The Nuggets, they're
You'll
the
take
team.
you'll take 100% credit if the Nuggets get
Yep.
there, and you'll take 0% of the blame if they don't.
Don't be surprised.
Yeah, right. Okay. I like that. I'll say don't be surprised with the Grizzlies. We all get don't be surprised.
Okay,
team.
Hank, who's your don't be surprised team?
The Cavs.
Okay.
Okay. That's funny.
Don't be surprised.
They are
They're
fighting.
going to beat the Nets.
Jared Allen and Mobley, are they playing?
Don't be surprised.
Did you see Kevin Love's stat line tonight? It was incredible. He played 14 minutes. He had 32 points. 14 minutes. He went 8 for 11 from 3.
That's crazy.
awesome.
Don't let the boy get hot.
They were playing against the Bucks backups, but who the fuck cares? And I had a lot of Bucks fans. They're not the smartest people. They were just. I tweeted like, "Oh wow, Bucks are limping into the playoffs." I knew they weren't playing anyone. Shout out to Drew Holiday for getting $307,000 for playing 8 seconds today.
That's
I love
so
those
awesome.
things. Those are the best.